On today's episode of the Antihero Files, we break down the life of Beth Dutton. Beth's story begins on the Yellowstone ranch, surrounded by horses, cowboys, and responsibility, a world she never felt comfortable in. As a child, she was terrified of horses, a fear that quietly shaped her early years. One day, her mother tried to help her face that fear. It was supposed to be simple, just a moment between them, but Beth panicked. The horse reacted, and the accident happened. In seconds, her mother was gone. Everything in Beth's life changed. After the accident, Beth ran to her father. She collapsed in his arms, devastated. It was the last time she let herself fall apart in front of anyone. From that day forward, she carried the weight of what happened alone. As she grew older, Beth didn't know how to move past the accident. She withdrew from people, kept to herself, and tried to navigate life without the person she relied on most. Her teenage years were marked by distance and confusion. Rip entered her life during those years. They were just kids, but they found something steady in each other, a place to escape the chaos around them. Their bond began long before either of them understood what it meant. Beth eventually grew into her role on the ranch. She took on responsibilities, handled business, and became someone her father depended on. This was the period where she began shaping her place in the family's world. As a teenager, Beth got pregnant and went to her brother Jamie for help. She didn't know he made a decision that would change her life permanently. Years later, she learns the truth. He signed papers that took away her ability to have children. It becomes one of the defining revelations of her adulthood. Over the years, Beth and Rip's connection deepened. They drifted apart, came back together, and lived through enough chaos to know their history wasn't temporary. Their relationship became one of the few constants in her life. Beth's involvement in the ranch's business puts her in the middle of conflicts she can't avoid. One day, she's targeted in an attack meant to hurt her family. She survives, but it marks a turning point, a reminder of how dangerous her world has become. After the attack, Beth steps even further into the ranch's battles. She takes on more responsibility, makes bigger decisions, and becomes a central force in protecting the family's interests. This is where she becomes a key player in the Dutton legacy. Beth's life becomes filled with confrontations, legal fights, business wars, personal conflicts. Each one ties back to the ranch, the family, and the choices she made to stand at the center of it all. The Yellowstone becomes the core of Beth's life. It's her father's legacy, her family's identity, and the one thing she refuses to let slip away. Every threat to the ranch becomes a battle she steps into without hesitation. Despite the chaos, Beth has rare moments where life pauses. A drink in her hand, a quiet room, a night without conflict. These moments mark the few times her world isn't demanding something from her. When things settle, Beth is simply a woman who lived through a long chain of events. An accident, a betrayal, a family legacy, and a lifetime of decisions that pushed her into the role she holds now. Her story is built on moments, not traits. Through every major event, childhood, tragedy, family battles, close calls, Rip remains the constant. They grew up in the same world, took different hits, and eventually built a life together that stayed standing. Beth Dutton's story isn't about personality. It's about moments. A childhood accident, a family secret, a ranch legacy, and a lifetime of choices that shaped the path she walked. Every chapter led her to the life she built, and the person who stood beside her through all of it. And before we close out Beth's chapter, here's something about her character that most people never hear. Taylor Sheridan gave Kelly Riley one specific instruction for Beth's wardrobe. Beth never wears anything she can't fight in. If you look closely, even her most dramatic outfits, the fur coats, the dresses, the iconic jackets, all allow her to move fast, throw a punch, or handle a crisis. It's a subtle rule that shaped her entire look on the show. Thanks for watching. More Antihero stories soon.